So guys, welcome back to the channel, and right here we have the Prime Audio Retro Speaker. This is something for Five Below. It is under $10, so that's a good thing, but I haven't actually tried it out yet, and I want to experience it with you guys to kind of get an idea of how good it is or how bad it is. So in terms of specifications, it is Bluetooth 5.4. There isn't, you know, it's odd. It says 600 mAh battery. This doesn't tell me the battery life, so I'm going to have to kind of do that test on my own. So I'll let you know by the end of the video. But it does come in a couple pieces right here. So you have this little antenna. All you got to do is just pop this inside like so. You do have a USB-C, of course, cable. Use whatever one that you want to if you have your own at home. And it does come with the instructions, and it shows you how to switch it between different Bluetooth modes, because this also has a radio also. It's kind of what the antenna is for. So I think it's a pretty decent looking speaker. Right here you have the USB-C on the side. You have your plus and minus buttons. I'm going to test it out in the music folder a little bit later, but I'm thinking that it probably does volume control and possibly skipping songs also. This button right here is pause and play, and the Bluetooth button right here, I'm going to assume that this probably doubles down to power on the device, but worst case, it'll probably be the pause and play button for power, one of the two. But we'll go over that when it comes to syncing the device. But so far, not bad. I mean, it's a solid looking speaker. It doesn't look cheap, to be honest with you. Like, this is something that, even though, you know, you can tell at the corners are a little uneven right here, there are some imperfections for the asking price because it's mass shipped cheaper products. But I do think that this is one of their better builds when it comes to speakers so far. Like, it doesn't feel like if you squeeze it, it's going to break or anything like that. But anyway, let's move on. I'm going to show you guys how to sync it next. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to sync it. So first things first, I'm going to see if I hold this Bluetooth button if it powers on. All right, it doesn't. So I should have read the instructions. So I want to try this one, the pause or play button. That's more likely to power on. Yep.
Power on.
So you hold
Bluetooth
this button,
mode.
pause or play. You see it blinking red and blue. It also will tell you it's in Bluetooth mode. Self-explanatory, but you know, I wanted to try it out anyway, show you guys in case you didn't know. So anyway, what we're going to do from here is we're going to go to settings, go to Bluetooth, and it's going to search automatically. I want to see if it finds it. Oh, it says Prime Audio. I'm thinking this is probably it. It doesn't actually say the name Retro Speaker, but the fact it says Prime Audio and this is in Bluetooth mode means it's going to be this one. Go ahead and tap that. See what happens here. Okay, it's taking a minute to connect. Can't communicate with Prime Audio. There we go. Now it's doing it. I do want to also say that this is a Revel tablet, one of the new Metro ones. I didn't review it yet, so it could have been an issue with the tablet itself rather than the Bluetooth. But you know, second time was a charm. It connected. This is how you use it. So for anyone wondering if it has multi-point, it does not. So keep that in mind. It syncs to one device. All you got to do is unsync it or leave the Bluetooth range, and it'll put itself back in Bluetooth mode if you power it off and power it on. So keep that in mind. So let's do a quick music test. I'm going to play two songs for you guys. One's going to be Warzone, and the second one is going to be Ice and Fire. So Warzone is more, I'm not even going to say it's more bass friendly, but these are YouTube friendly songs that I'm actually could play that won't get copyright. So let's check the quality of the speaker itself. Here we go. Let me start this one over. I mean, this sounds pretty good so far. No breakage whatsoever, even at higher volume. It's max. That's max volume. I want to turn that down a little bit because, you know, I have neighbors and whatnot. Okay. All right, so the bass is actually really good on this so far. I noticed that the bass is the most pronounced feature on it outside of, you heard the instruments, the violin come in, the other instruments in the background. It sounds pretty good. Even at higher volumes, you do notice that the bass strains just a little bit when it reaches to like 90, 100%, but it doesn't break apart. What I noticed with the older, cheaper speakers, or depending on which brand you get from Five Below, sometimes those speakers break apart the higher the volume gets, but this one actually stayed together and you can hear everything very, very well. And the bass is pretty decent. It's not super heavy, obviously, like compared to a higher end speaker. It is Five Below, but I like comparing it to higher end speakers because, you know, it just shows that the quality of their $8 to $10 products are getting better over time. And that's a good thing. When I saw the solid design, I kind of figured that the bass would be better on this, and I'm glad I purchased it because it is. It sounds a lot better than what I expected. Maximum volume would definitely fill up an entire room, but if you have a group of people near you, obviously if you have a party or a get together, I don't think this is really strong enough to be able to play music where everyone can hear it if everyone's talking. But it's not bad for a small room. It's not bad for a computer desk. Like I have it sitting on my computer. It's not bad if you hook it up to like a Nintendo Switch or a Steam Deck or something like that, because you'll get that quality of sound. Obviously it won't be better than subwoofers or anything like that, but this isn't bad for under $10. Now I do want to just play another song for you guys, and it's going to be Ice and Fire. But I am going to also mention this, I forgot to mention it. When you press the volume button or the volume up skips the song if you tap it once. Volume down actually plays the previous, but if you hold it, it'll actually turn the volume up, or if you hold the minus, it'll turn the volume down. So keep that in mind, the controls itself. Anyway, let's do Ice and Fire, see how that sounds. I want to hear some vocals. Don't worry, the vocals will come in a little bit. Just want to let it rock out a little bit. I mean, this isn't bad for, I think it was $8 for the speaker. It's not bad at all. It's clear, very clear. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. I mean, it sounds good. I can honestly say that anyone that buys a speaker at Five Below, I think you'll like it. Now, obviously, it's not going to outperform one of those brick speakers from like Soundcore or a name brand company, but to not have to spend $50, $100 for a speaker for $8, I do think that this is pretty good. Now, it does come in different colors. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in this video. So everyone may not like the purple, but they do have a black one and stuff that'll, match the background aesthetic, especially if you put it on the desk. Like I have a black mats. I have black speakers and microphones here. I actually use the Switch controller hooked up to my Steam Deck and other things. So I have a little theme going on here. But I think that this is nice. I do like this. It's quality, believe it or not. Not high-end quality, but it is quality. Now, the only downside is I don't know how long this is going to last, because it is Five Below. Sometimes they last for a month, sometimes a week, sometimes years. But again, with the build quality and how it looks, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all so far. So the Bluetooth button right here actually switches this to FM mode if you tap it once. And you can tap it again in order to switch it back to Bluetooth mode. But for right now, I'm going to switch it over to radio. I'm going to show you. So that's step one.
FM mode.
And it'll actually tell you FM mode. Now, in order to actually search for stations, you have to either double tap the minus or double tap the plus. So let's do that now. All right, so you see the blue light? It's searching for the stations now. I mean, it will also matter. I'm just let this finish real fast. Now these are FM radio stations. It's no AM, so keep that in mind. Okay. I mean, it's pretty clear, to be honest with you. A lot of times when you use these FM radios for these Bluetooths, they're not very clear, but I'm assuming that this antenna is really doing its job, so it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But I'm going to switch it back over to Bluetooth
mode.
Okay, because I don't want this video to get copyright
Connected.
from just playing a couple songs inside of the radio itself. But yeah, I mean, the radio is actually pretty decent for the most part. And I mean, I personally don't listen to radio because there are streaming services and I download my music directly from the internet. But for the person out there that still listens to FM radio, it is available. Though I think this is primarily going to be used for the Bluetooth sector. So if you have it hooked to a PC, a tablet, an iPad, an iPhone, an Android device, a Nintendo Switch or something like that, it's going to work perfectly fine in that regard. But the FM radio feature's there, and believe it or not, a lot of those songs that you heard for like little skims, it actually came out pretty clear for the most part. So I do think that this is worth the asking price. I like this. So I'm going to kind of give you a summary of what this can do and how good it actually is. So I do believe that this is actually pretty decent speaker. Let's go over a little specifications real fast. So it is only 5 watts, but I do think they did a really good job with the 5-watt speaker. The Bluetooth connection is pretty stable. I didn't have any issues with it disconnecting. The FM radio mode works very well inside of it. The controls of the buttons, obviously, if you're using like Spotify or Samsung Music or Apple Music or Power Amp or something like that, the controls may vary, but these are volume controls. If you tap it once, if you hold it, it'll actually change the music, the songs that you're listening to. In FM radio mode, you double tap and it'll actually search all the radio stations. And then after that, you can just press it and go to whatever station that you want to. So that's a good thing. The design, I think, is actually pretty solid. Even though it looks cheap right here, I will say that overall, I think that this is a nice looking aesthetic. I got the purple because it would have been easier to see, easier on the eyes for the background, but it does come in multiple colors at Five Below. So I think this is an item that's going to sell if people start watching reviews and realize how good it is. In addition to that, unfortunately, I didn't check the full battery life, but I never actually fully charged it from 0 to 100%. The review was done with me taking it outside of the box and using it. So again, I don't know how it's going to be with longevity. I could come back to the speaker if someone wants me to, just to see if it's still working in like a month or so, because they do tend to sell cheaper products. But this isn't bad. Now there's no IP rating, obviously, so don't take it to the beach, don't take it near water. My suggestion is to not take it into a bathroom because steam and stuff can actually damage your speakers if you have no form of IP rating. But I will say that it did last a couple hours before it died, so it does at least have a couple, 2 to 3 hours or so of battery life before it actually dies. And I didn't charge it at 100%, but it was pretty much charged outside of the box. So, you know, it's not bad. You know, you take the good with the bad with these type of things. They don't exactly give you the most instructions, but hopefully this video helps the person out that's interested in it. And like I said before, the quality of sound is not bad. The only downside I can say is that it doesn't say anything about combining the 2 speakers. That would have been cool for a person if they wanted to buy more than one of these. But of course, if you're willing to spend about $20 worth of speakers, which is, you know, $8 after taxes, and then buy 2 of these, you can actually buy something for $20 that'll sound better. But just to find this in Five Below real fast, if you want to gift it to someone, or like I know a lot of people that'll buy multiple things from different stores and then bundle it together. I think that this would make a pretty decent gift for someone that just wants a speaker. They don't necessarily care about having the most high-end thing. They'll just be thankful to have one. This is a decent enough gift. Anyway, like and subscribe like always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.